Potassium can improve a crop's ability to withstand the pressure of a pest infestation, whether that be insect or whether that be a pathogen. And that ultimately can increase the productivity of the crop, increasing yield, and ultimately increasing profitability. If we increase the plant's potassium uptake and get it to a point where it's very healthy with regard to potassium nutrition, it's not unlike us as humans in having a good diet or an adequate amount of vitamins. It's not going to keep you from getting sick, and potassium, very similarly, is not going to keep the plant from being infested by insects, but essentially what it does is it allows the plant to withstand the pressure associated with the infestation. Let's take, for instance, soybean cyst nematode, a very common problem across the Midwest. Essentially what happens is when the infestation occurs, the nematodes affect the root. So the root is less able to take up nutrients from the soil. If we have that added potassium supply, we're not going to get rid of the nematodes. But essentially what we're creating is an environment where that plant will still yield better. Soybean aphid is another very common problem. It's an insect infestation. They can overwinter, fly in from more southern areas, and they can become a real problem. And there's some really good data out of Wisconsin where we looked at a study with a couple of different soil test potassium levels. One was at 60 part per million, one was at 113 part per million. But essentially, the number of aphids on those leaves was cut in half due to adequate potassium supply compared to the lower concentration, and that translates into higher yields. What we see is at that 60 part per million level, we're talking about yields right around 24 bushels per acre for soybeans. When we move up to that 113, that goes to 47 bushels per acre. If you're in a situation where your soil test potassium level is low, it is in your best interest to get that potassium level higher, not just because of the plant's need for potassium, but also for what that potassium affords the plant in the way of dealing with the pressures associated with these infestations.